And I said, ooh, what would you do if you could lose all your burdens?
Hey everybody, I'm Lauren, this is Suzanne and Grace, and we are with Love One and...
And I'm Hayden Riddick, and this is actually Riddick with Riddick Shoes. Upon starting Riddick, one of the things that we actually founded the company on was giving back. And so what we're starting a shoe company and giving back proceeds to various charities. And we're fortunate enough to have a long time friendship with our family here, who also has the Love One Foundation, which we'll have them talk about as well. And so here we were starting a shoe business that gives back, and here these guys are doing such incredible things with the Love One organization. We're like, we need to design a shoe line for these guys and be able to give back to the organization. So we've had such a great time over the last 8 months working together, designing some awesome shoes that we're about to roll out, and everybody's stoked about it. We finally, we got them in, everybody's wearing them, we can touch them, feel them, see them, and we're just so pumped about pushing those out to the world now, to be able to buy really cool shoes and give back to Love One in the process of doing that.
Yeah, we are so excited. I mean, I think when we are always thinking of creative ways that we can come up with collaborations and raise awareness for Love One and raise money for the children that we serve in Uganda. And shoes is something that we haven't done yet as an organization, but something that all of us are passionate about. We love it so much. And I feel like it's such a trend right now that like the sneaker game it's a real thing. And so when we were thinking about, man, it'd be really cool to make a shoe, and just knowing, the friendship that we've had with Hayden and our family relationship has been so sweet. And just for something like this to come together, that we are able to make really cool, fun shoes that fit all different personalities and that are comfortable and, like in the same vein of the high-end luxury Italian incredible shoes. To be able to do that and have proceeds go to Love One and support the children that we support in Uganda it's really special, and it's been so much fun, and we're so excited.
and you guys were so awesome to work with for the design. So they got to get behind the scenes, and we got online and we dug into the design tool. And I was like,
lots of hours.
Yeah, I was like,
we for sure drove you.
No, it was like, boy, we opened up Pandora's box. I was like, oh no, just don't show Lauren the zebra. Oh, she saw the zebra now. And Lauren's like, hey, wait, back up. I'm going to need to see that zebra. Can we put the zebra on this panel and so forth? But it was such a great thing. And, just everybody, you guys all had such awesome input. And Grace was like, oh, I don't want to be on camera. But I was like, you need to be, because she was instrumental in where we landed with the logos for sure, and helping us, because Love One has this graffiti graphic. And I would love for you guys to talk about that too, because it's just really awesome. And that's where we landed for all of the boxes that come with the shoes. They all come with these collector boxes, and it has the Love One graffiti graphic on it. And all of the original prototypes that I put in front of you guys had more of the corporate logo, Love One International. And it looked really cool, but Grace at the end was like, I think maybe we could lose the corporate logo and go with a more relaxed, scripted version, like from the graffiti box. And I said, hey, I'm not in logo design, but if you want to help with that, we can do that. And you were awesome at helping land where we did with the logo.
The graffiti that we used on the boxes pulls, I feel like, from a lot of different elements that represent Love One. We have 3 crosses on the box, and everything that Love One does revolves around Jesus. There's angel wings. There's a really cool little image of a mom and a baby. There's scripture, our plus sign. Everything on that box just encompasses what Love One does in that graphic. And so I love that we got to pull that graphic in and put it on our shoe box.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So when the shoes arrive to you, the first thing that you see is this container that I feel like sums up who Love One is and what we do. And then you open it up and get to see these shoes that also encompass so much of our personalities personally and as an organization. And the whole process was just amazing.
It was so much fun. Yeah. And it's fun being on a Zoom call and seeing everybody's reactions, And I can't tell you how many times Suzanne was like,
Because we would get to one point, and I would think, okay, that's one step closer, or then we're 2 steps closer, and then we're all back again. Now we're back.
I'm like, wait, can you change the shoelaces back to the 3rd color that you picked? Hayden's like, we can go back to that.
But look where we landed.
Yes.
You know,
Oh my
it's just so
gosh.
awesome. And it's, you know, it's one thing to put it on the screen, and it's another thing to open up and actually see the physical shoe. So I get to do it all the time because I design it and I know the materials, etc. But how did you guys feel seeing it in concept and then actually opening it up and being able to hold and wear the shoes?
I feel like the photos don't do them justice.
I agree.
I mean,
Yeah.
because they have so many textures, and then you have the different colors, and seeing them and holding them is a totally different thing than just seeing them on
Yeah.
your site.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure. And just how, I mean, putting it on your foot. Dreaming about it is one thing, but walking around in it, and I mean, I always wear sneakers just because for me, I'm constantly chasing 4 kids around. And so you got to have something that's comfortable. You got to have something that you feel good in. And I feel like on top of like the zebra print, it's just like, it checks all the boxes for me as an individual, but then they're comfortable, and just knowing that we were talking not too long ago, but just how sneakers are such a thing now, and like the high end, really nice luxury brand of sneakers.
That for 20 years.
That will outlast you, but paying as much as you pay for them, you know, sometimes can break the bank. And so we're like, how do we figure out a way to work with Riddick and get these same Italian luxury shoes and to still serve that community?
This is going in the exact awesome direction, because what we don't have, since we're not a brick and mortar company, if we were brick and mortar, if we put these shoes out in brick and mortar, automatically you have to take what your cost is and double it plus 20% at least in order to cover the overhead that comes with that. But since we are direct order, direct to consumer, you know, we custom build those shoes per every order. It takes 2 weeks for the artisans to build each custom order and then ship those out. But it cuts out that middleman, so we're able to push those out at, half of the cost of most of our competitors.
Right.
Because we don't have to double it up.
Yeah.
And they give back.
What are we going to do, babe? So entrepreneur and stunt woman, income isn't predictable.
Never.
Okay,
Never predictable.
so we're always, you know, we're fighters, and we go and we find the money and find ways to support our family. You never know when the call's going to come in for a stunt gig, and you know, as an entrepreneur, it's, you know, money income is not automatic either. So, but we're always like, gosh, babe, we're going to grow to the point. We're just keep after it, because we want to be able to give back. And we're frustrated that we can't give more. We put together a God's account. We had this idea from someone who shared that they had a God's account. We're like, you know what? We're putting together a God's account. We're going to push money in there, push money in there. Well, in order to survive ourselves, sometimes we had to pull from that. Mm-hmm. And we're like, we've got to grow this God's account. So when we started the shoe business, we're like, okay, let's grow this for a couple of years and get it grown to the point where we can make excess money and be able to give back. And, you know, I don't know if we'll roll this on tape, but I have an aha moment in the shower one day. It's like, Lord, tell me what to do, because it was like, I came out and I said, hey, honey, why are we going to wait to succeed and then give back? Let's make it a part of what we do right away, out of the
Build it in
gates.
your foundation.
Just build it,
You know,
right into the foundation.
It's got to be all the way at the bottom to start that way, to give back, to want to really, you know, hand over something extra to someone else. And we all know how good that feels.
Yeah.
When you're giving to somebody else, it makes you feel the very, very best, right? So we're like, look, even if we don't have very much to begin with in this, we want to give back a portion of this immediately, because we all know God blesses us more when we do that.
So sweet.
So good.
It is
Well,
good.
and one of my favorite things is the scripture inside the tongue. For me, for a Love One shoe, that was just the icing on the cake. I mean, they're cute, they're like we love the style and everything, but when you actually are putting them on and it's just the scripture talking about walking with Jesus, it just, for me, that was it. I was like, okay, I love this so much.
And it's a reminder daily, right? So now you put on that sneaker every single time. You can read that and know that that's your intention.
And we could quote the scripture here, but we won't, because we want people to go out online and check it out. And you can look inside. So look inside the tongue of every one of the Love One shoes has a very special scripture. So you definitely go check that out. I was just going to say that, when we had this oh my gosh, okay, we're going to build this based on giving back right out of the gates. Then I was like, I better call my accountant. Does that mean that we need to actually incorporate ourselves differently as a give back organization? And so I called the accountant and said, hey, we want to give back proceeds right out of the gate. Do we have to do anything? He goes, no, you can give as much as you want as an organization. You don't need to classify yourself as anything. I said, really? It's free reign? So that made it very easy. I was thinking, oh no, we need to reestablish ourselves. I set the business up wrong. I don't know if we needed a 5-0, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what all that stuff is. That's why you have a good accountant. And he said, you can give as much as you want without any, issues with the government. So I was like, all right, well, we're doing it.
Well, we knew that we wanted to start this company. This has been a passion of yours for so long. And we wanted to start this company and make sure we had in the foundation this purpose of giving back. But then how special it was to have our connections that we had with you guys as family that we call you, and be able to...
Don't cry, baby.
No, I'm good.
I'm just kidding.
I'm good right now.
I'm good. All right.
And be able to merge together to share the same kind of passionate heart and giving soul, to know that that's what we wanted this to be rooted on, as well as what your foundation is rooted on, which was just so special. And that's why I feel like it's a awesome unity between us and going to be incredible,
Me too. That's sweet.
It's good.
We need to get a bazillion of these shoes on feet. Let's make a bunch of money for the organization, and I want to get us out to Uganda. Are we going to be invited out there? Man. And you guys want to talk about, because you just got back from Uganda, and you said something to me like, man, this just really refueled and rekindled us. So tell us about the recent trip.
Well, a lot of people don't know, Love One was birthed out of me bringing our little girl home from Uganda. See, she's 17, so that was 15 years ago, 14 years ago. And she was severely malnourished and had tuberculosis and HIV positive, and just when I held her in my arms in Uganda, I did not know if she was going to live long enough for me to even be able to bring her to America. And in that process, I sat in hospital after hospital after hospital, just trying to get her the medical care that she needed. And it was over and over again, I felt defeated and feeling, okay, tomorrow it's a new day. And then the next day it was, okay, what are we going to do again? So then once I brought her home, we took her to Vanderbilt. She got the medical care she needed. We were able to give her the love and food that she needed. And within 9 months, her viral loads were undetectable. She was walking around healthy, just this little vibrant, we call her our little beam of sunshine. And so fast forward, I would lay in bed and I couldn't sleep, because all I could think about were all the other moms that were holding their babies, wondering if they were going to live, and then trying to get them the medical care or the food that they needed and not be able to do that. And so the Lord just continued to lay it on my heart, and it was this overwhelming desire and need that you have to do. I have to do something. I have to do something. So it started. I started getting counsel here stateside, and then I just went to Uganda, met with some government officials, and said, "Hey, we want to come alongside you guys and support the families that need help with medical care and food for their children." And they said, yes, we would love that. And so 5 years ago, actually this week is our 5th year birthday for Love One.
Awesome.
And we started, and we've served over it's like
10,000
children over the last 5 years. And when I saw that number this week, I had a moment, because I really thought, you know what, if we can if we can help 10 children, that's 10 children that might not live. And now, fast forward 5 years, here we are. And so basically, here's how it works. We have community liaisons that are out in the different communities. And either a liaison calls us and says, hey, we have a child that's in need, or it's gotten to where now loved ones, the word has gotten out of what we do. So a lot of times moms just show up on our porch. So we take the moms and their children to the hospital for them to get medical care. But a lot of times when they're discharged, they're not healthy enough to go back out into a community where there's no running water or electricity. So then we bring them to our center, the Love One Center, and we do an individual nutritional based kind of regimen for them. And they all have their own particular little meal depending on what they need. And we have nutritionists that create that for them. A lot of them cannot take solids at that point. Their bodies won't absorb it. So we start with just like liquids. They have an F75 and an F100 over there. That's like liquid gold is what we call it.
Yeah.
And then we rehabilitate them. And it might take 3 months, it might take a year, depending on the severity of the child. And then the goal is to always resettle them back with their families. While they're at the Love One Center, their moms continue to come and visit because we want to make sure that that bonding stays in place. And then we resettle them back at home after training their moms on nutrition and hygiene and how can you take care of your child so that we don't end up back where we are.
Right.
We have social workers that do follow-up to make sure that the children continue to stay healthy. And with every child that comes into our center, we share the love of Jesus because at the end, that's really why we're there. So our goal is for everybody, if they have not heard about Jesus, to hear about him, and then the end goal would be just to be walking with him, throughout life. So that's how Love One got started and kind of what we do on a daily basis.
Awesome.
So
Oh,
incredible.
man.
It's good for the heart.
Oh, man. And when you say, questions like, when you say they go to the hospital, that's separate from the medical center that you guys have, correct? Okay, so they have hospitals there, and...
We pay their medical.
Okay.
They also, in the hospitals in Uganda, they don't provide food when you're there. So we drive them there, we transport them there, we make sure that the mother and the child has food, and then we just get the medical care. We pay for the medical care that they need.
Then the plus sign that's in our logo and that's also on the box represents our mission to care for HIV positive kids. Because so many of the kids that come to our center all the kids that are at the center are malnourished, but so many of them are HIV positive too.
Wow.
Which can contribute to why they got to the position that they're in if that goes untreated. So that's what the plus sign is, not only in our logo, but also on the box.
Yeah.
What happened when you guys were out there recently?
So we just got back from Uganda a week and a half ago. I feel like
And we just
it was yeah. We're still recovering from jet lag. But we were able to go and see our property where we are building our new center. So right now we have a house that the children that we care for are in, all these little bedrooms with all the beds, and when we were there this last time, there was like 52 kids in the house. And it's incredible to you walk into those rooms and they're just babies and toddlers and kids running around everywhere, which is so precious. But to go onto our property and for us to walk around and see where Love One is going is overwhelming, just with like the goodness of the Lord to take what Love One has started and has been such an incredible journey. And I feel like we have really got our roots deep and the machine is running, but to see how large the machine is going to be operating is overwhelming in a sense of like,
It's overwhelming for me.
it's overwhelming because you see where we are and how much it takes to care for 50 at a time. And to see where we're going, where it will be, over 100, close to 200 at a time. To know that that's where Love One is headed is overwhelming, just to know that we get to be a part of something, and the Lord has trusted us to be like, hey, this is my mission for these children, and I need y'all to help me execute it. And so knowing the need that is coming, I mean, it's an overwhelming need anyways, which is how Suzanne came up with the name of Love One. Like, you think of how many children are in need and it feels overwhelming, but if you can truly look at the one in front of you and just love the one in front of you and start there, and let it grow. And it has grown and grown and grown, and this new center is going to be life-changing. And but it's also going to take a lot to run it and keep it going. And so that's why partnerships like this are so special to us, because not only are we getting to do something fun and collaborate and make a really nice shoe and a really fun shoe, but half of the proceeds going back to these kids is truly saving lives. And getting to partner with people whose hearts line up with that, and y'all just walking alongside us and being like, hey, we want to be a part of what you're doing in Uganda, is so special to us. But when you see those babies, when you're on the ground in Uganda, it's a different feeling, knowing like, okay, we came home with a bigger fire lit under us. Like, we're gonna have to run this machine, and not us. Right? But the Lord brings people alongside to, have different fun ideas to have fun with it while we're figuring out ways to give back. And that's what this has just been so much fun and so easy for us.
And what's special about these shoes too is that you're able to show your own personalities, right? Your own individual personalities, and be able to represent that as well as giving back. It's not just about that. It's more about you being able to use it in your daily and spice up your outfit, by throwing on a killer pair of tennis shoes when that's your only option as you're chasing around kiddos and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And now you can wear sneakers with anything. You can wear sneakers with a dress.
It's actually
Wear 'em
like
to church.
It's
There's so multi-purpose. It's not just for the weekends.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
every day.
Dress shoes on.
I know.
Yeah.
Lose the heels, wear the sneakers.
Yeah.
It's been my motto for the last 4 years.
That's awesome.
Well, that's the key, right? Is to try to figure out how, and that's the challenge that you guys have. And man, when I learned what your ambassadors were doing, by the way, I'd love for you to talk about that too while we're here. Just share with people how awesome your ambassadors are. I couldn't believe the numbers that you were throwing out of what these women, which I think was initially 150, is now grown to 300, raise for you guys every year. I was like, man, we're gonna have to definitely sell a lot of shoes to catch up with those ladies, But to find creative ways to. You hope when people are buying the shoes, like, oh man, I love being a part of something and giving back. But let's face it, not everybody's gonna do that. But whoever buys the shoe automatically is giving back. You see what I'm saying? So you're trying to appeal to not only the ambassadors that are like, dude, we got to work hard to get these kids in Uganda taken care of. But there's a lot of people that may not even pay attention to it, but go, man, these things are so cool. I got to have them no matter what. And they'll be contributing. First of all, I'll just tell you guys, I couldn't believe how well one of our great big competitors was doing, but it was shocking, but it was also inspirational for us to get into this channel of high-end luxury brands out of Italy. And so let's just put it this way: at double what our cost is, our competitors are $500 million per year in sales and up. Okay. So I said, whoa, that's a huge market. I just really had no idea. This was a hobby for me. I wasn't like, man, I've got to figure out how to get in the shoe business. It was like, I want to make really cool shoes because it's fun. And it just caught on. And more people were wearing the shoes. And you know how this goes when you're walking in the street. Somebody likes your fit. They're like, oh my gosh, where'd you get that? Or those. And so that started happening. And so it was like, well, we could probably get some for you too. And it just blossomed like that. But I had already committed personally to these high-end shoes, and they were expensive for me to purchase them out of Italy, but they were mine. It was like, these are my designs. It's worth spending the money. Well, now that I've launched a business based on this, our price point is so high. It made me realize why our competitors who come out of Italy, why their price point is so crazy high. So the challenge for us was to figure out, man, well, we know there's a huge market of people, because that wasn't really us. I mean, we don't go shopping for these high expensive all the time. You know, we love to find a good deal just like anybody else and find some really cool shoes that aren't crazy expensive.
And we still do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. People are like, what are you, you're not wearing Riddick? I'm like, dude, I support all the awesome brands, you know? I just like shoes. But as we launch into this market with our price point, even though it's half of what our competitors are, people still go, oh my gosh, they're so expensive, you know? So it's an interesting challenge to face, or for us to get out there without calling out our competitors. I just don't want to compete that way to go. And I know I see people go head to head and they do a side-by-side comparison of a particular competitor. I just don't know if I want to do that, but we do have to
Where we're going head to head is
talk about
in the
the quality.
materials, right?
Yeah.
The product is absolutely right up there at the top with any Italian-made shoe that you know of. You know, so that's awesome. But the other side is we wanted more purpose and passion behind our story, which I feel like we have continuously evolved and you know, tacked on to over time here. And that just makes it's going. I know God has big plans, you know, but it is a journey for sure through the process.
You don't just wake up one day and just say, hey, we're a high-end luxury brand, and everybody goes, oh, well, awesome, let's just run out there and get that. It takes time to establish the name. And I think this is going to be really helpful for us too, you know, to get the Riddick brand out there to a broader audience that you guys have. So we're really excited about that too. Here's a question I have, and this is, you know, whether we're rolling or not, this is a question. You guys, when you buy your favorite other high-end brands, why do you buy that brand? What made you go, I got to have a pair of those?
Is it the comfort? Is it the style? Is
Status.
it the trend? Is it the...
I think for me, it's truly comfort. Like, I'm so comfortable in sneakers, and the fact that it has become like a trendy thing to be able to wear sneakers with any outfit. Like we were talking earlier, like you can wear them to the grocery store, you can wear them to pick up your kids at school, you can wear them to play outside with your kids, you can wear them to church, you can wear them to dinner, you can, like, that speaks straight to my life. I can put on any of my sneakers and roll out the door, but they've got to be comfortable. And then the brands I feel like that we love are ones that look, at least me personally, are like the funkier, the better, like the color, the zebra, the sparkle, whatever it is, just something that's fun and interesting and new and fresh and
Catches your eye.
yeah,
Or catches people's eye.
yeah,
Right.
for sure.
I feel like you can completely change an outfit with a shoe.
Absolutely. And it is such a trending thing nowadays to wear sneakers with everything, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So making sure that you can, for me, it's express your personality on your feet.
Yeah.
Which is something I've always said, you know, and then Hayden is the exact same way.
But actually, that's how this completely spawned.
This is absolutely
Years
how this
ago,
I loved.
We were shopping together for shoes, and women at the time, not that it was sneakers, because it wasn't, but all kinds of different shoes. And a woman can go into a store, and we have 50 options. And we have some funky in there, some stylish, some, you know, classic, whatever. And we would walk around to the men's section, and there'd be 3, a black, white, and brown. He's like, "You're kidding me. You get all of that, and these are the options. This doesn't work for me." And so that's where the creative juices started flowing for him to start designing, and that's what he did for years, you guys,
amazing.
Yeah.
before we were able to finally land with this Italian
It was just
manufacturer.
so underwhelming going down to the men's section. I was like, we had so much fun buying all these crazy, fun, cool, unique things that expressed her personality, like she says. And then, well,
Same
okay,
thing. More
okay, Hayden,
funkier the
let's,
better.
yeah,
More
Hayden,
wild and weird. Love it, you know.
yeah. So it's like, all right, we'll grab her bags, and then we go, Hayden, let's get some stuff for you. And it's like,
It's not fair.
this is it? Wow. So that's why I got online and said, I got to figure out how to start doing this.
But we've also realized through the journey of him designing and creating all these shoes that the importance of having classic options for the people that look for something that's a little bit more simplistic and not basic in a bad way, but basic in the way of a neutral tone palette, that kind of thing that can go with everything and not be all wild and crazy all the time, because that's not everybody.
I was literally just about to say, one of the things that I love about our collection is that it has all of it. It has the funkiest shoes ever, and then it has some that are super neutral, compare with anything, and then it has some, like, I feel like mine are a little bit of a hybrid. They're neutral, but they have the fun glittery stars, the suede, the pink stitching. So I really feel like the collection we're releasing encompasses, there's something for everybody in it.
That's
you know?
right.
Yeah. You guys did such a good job. All those hours have paid off.
Yes.
It was easy, right?
Just like starting a nonprofit on the other side of the world. So easy.
No big
His
deal.
idea was this.
Yeah. Right.
That's great. All right, so tell us how this all started. How do you guys know each other, and how did this come
How'd
together?
you meet? Way before Love One was Love One.
We actually I met Suzanne first because her nephew was one of my really good friends in college, and it's so funny, but for like truly years, he lived in Turkey for a few years, and so there was a period of time where I didn't see him a whole lot, but every time we would speak, and when I did see him, he almost always would say, "You remind me so much of my aunt. Like, you've got to meet I've got to connect y'all. I really feel like y'all would be best friends." And I'm like, so weird that every time I'm with you, you talk about your aunt, how much you feel like we would connect and we're the same person and yada yada. So finally he was like, "Hey, I just finished nursing school," and he was talking to me and said, "Listen, my aunt is actually, she's taking a team and she's going to go to Haiti, and they're going to do a medical mission trip, and a nurse just dropped out. I think that you should email her and see if you can hop on the trip." This is like a few weeks out. And I was like, "For real?" And my husband was sitting next to me and he goes, "Yeah, babe, I think you ought to do that." And it was kind of the time of my life where I was trying to figure out, I feel like I can be doing more with my life, making a bigger impact, and I feel like I haven't fully stepped into the purpose that the Lord has, whatever that calling is on my life, at least part of it. And so I emailed her, and a few weeks later we were on a plane together to Haiti, and watching Suzanne in action, loving on the people of Haiti, the children in Haiti, the medical staff that we came with us, just watching her interact with people and love people so well, and just knowing that what she was doing was making such an incredible impact on the world was unlike anything I've ever experienced before. And I explain it truly, I feel like when people see the person that they're in love with and they're like, "It was love at first sight." Truly going to Haiti with Suzanne and getting to be a part of what she is doing, it was like love at first sight. I was like, oh my goodness, this is what my soul was created for. I have got to, I want to be wherever you are, go wherever you go. I want to help you. Wherever you're serving, I want to be on board, and I want to bring as many people as we can with us. And she looked at me and she was like, "For real?" And I was like, "For real. Next time you book a flight, book me one too." And so that's how our relationship started. And then the next trip, I think Grace was on it, and she was like, "You've got to meet my daughter, Grace. She's a little bit younger than you." She was like, "Y'all remind me so much of each other." I'm like, I keep hearing this about a family
It's a
move.
trend.
So yeah, over time which is amazing. I'm like, "Yeah, well, my best friend Suzanne, my best friend Grace." And they're like, wait. I'm like, yeah, mom, daughter.
Yeah.
We're all really close, and it's so much fun.
It is.
It's so fun.
It is. Grace was graduating from college about the time I started Love One.
Okay.
And because it was
And when
one of
was
those
that?
moments.
When did you start?
2018.
2018. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was one of those moments where I thought, okay, she is all in, whatever, anything, I'm in. Tell me what I need to do. And then she graduated, and she said, I would love to help you with just day to day stateside. And so
I do feel like along the way, the Lord just said, if you're going to be willing to do this, I'm going to give you exactly who you need throughout the process to help you move along. Just because I'm a mom and I'm home with my children, and for a while we drank. Well, we're still drinking from a water hydrant, but God.
Oh, why are you talking past it?
Back in the day.
Back in the day, it was really hard, but today, but I think that for me has been the sweetest thing, is feeling like God is just saying, every step of the way, I'm going to bring you who you need, and then through the process, the Lord truly has knitted our hearts together in a way that is unimaginable. We could have never dreamed.
Sure.
And then, like, we were on our way to Uganda this time, and I was like, can y'all believe we get to do this together? Like, this is our life. We get to serve Jesus in the most beautiful country ever. Of course, we think it is, but I mean, we love Uganda, and now it just feels like a privilege.
Right.
Like the Lord has given us this chance to be able to serve Him in such a mighty way and together. So it's just so sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
To tap on what you were saying earlier too, Lauren, when you were talking about this huge new medical facility, is that right? That you guys have developed there?
We've got a big center. So once they come from the hospital, they will come to our center where we rehabilitate them until they are ready and healthy and their homes are ready to receive them. They're ready to go home, and it is a big center.
And seeing that from the first time that you guys went to Uganda in 2018, is that right? And then now, and being overwhelmed by the journey and seriously how large it has gotten by structure and love, right? And what you guys are putting into it, but also knowing that God doesn't give you more than you can handle, and realizing like, wow, this is a lot. You really have me up there, like in this big spot. You're really trusting me with this, right? I'm sure that's got to be, heavy for your hearts, going in a good way.
In a good way. Our first little building that we rented would hold about 10 or 12 children. Yeah. And now we've bumped up to 40. It's supposed to be 42, but truly there were over 50 when we were there. And then our new center will hold at least 100.
Wow.
And so it's very exciting and humbling.
Yes, for sure.
And what's the groundbreaking date for that? What's the projection on that opener?
Motion, right? They're saying that it should be finished in December.
December. Okay.
But they are cruising.
Especially in Uganda.
They are cruising. They're crushing it.
That's great.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Awesome. How did the ambassador program come to be?
So we had some friends who had an organization that had an ambassador program, or a company that had an ambassador program, and I saw what they were doing, and we had so many people asking stateside how they could get involved, and it was always a hard question because all of our work on the ground is in Uganda, and there's just not that many volunteer opportunities stateside. And so I saw this other company doing this, and I ended up picking my friend's brain. And it was interesting. What they said was, we launched this ambassador program. It's heavy on fundraising and advocacy, and then there's a Facebook page. Sometimes people will connect and get coffee or whatever. So there's like a little community element. And for us, it's actually ended up being the opposite. It is the sweetest, coolest community of women, not only across the States, from all across America, but then we also have several ambassadors that live in other countries. But the community element is probably my favorite part of it, because it's this amazing community who also raises funds and raises awareness for Love One. We started with 19 girls local to Nashville, then grew to 100, then to 150, and now we're up to 300.
Amazing.
We started at 19, then 100.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Maybe we did. Okay. 25, 75, then 150, then 300.
It's incredible, though. That's incredible. And you're not chasing them down. They're coming and showing that they want to be part of this, right?
Right.
You guys you take applications every year. Okay.
And last year they raised almost $500,000. And some of them are actually the ones who are here today modeling the shoes with us. That's been really fun, and they've been amped about the launch of this collection. I feel like most of them have already gone on and bought their pairs. one ambassador bought every single shoe in the
We know.
collection. That's
And guess what?
She
They're
gets them
delivered
today.
today. Yes. I got the notification on the way in. I was like, look at this. She gets her shoes
She's
today.
gonna be so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that just casts the net and the fabric of what you guys do so much larger, to have all of these bodies and all these people praying on
Advocates,
this,
yeah.
bringing in money, helping and assisting, you know.
Yeah.
I know that's huge and just so comforting. So you don't have to feel like you have to hold it all. Like, how do we do it? They
Yeah.
are able to assist.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so cool. It really is.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. What a great story.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah. Thank you guys. This is going to be fun.
I know.
I'm so excited to see just, what the response is.
Yep.
You
What
know?
comes from this and
What God has in store. We have to
That's
keep we've had some stumbling blocks along the way. The darn shoes didn't make it to Texas. Let's put that on camera. That was
Yeah.
we wanted that
and that
to
was
happen.
That was for an ambassador
Retreat, man. It's like Suzanne's like, hey, so you think you can get the shoes there? And we were like, all hands on deck. Yes, we're gonna make that happen. And for whatever reason, it didn't happen. God had different plans, and here we are now. Yeah, it wasn't the time.
It's really hard sometimes for you to understand why.
I
it's not
know.
happening.
I know.
But we worked through that.
There's some song out there. There's some song. It's a pretty popular guy that says, "Making plans while you hear God laughing." Yeah, I'm telling you, I had to listen to that over and over
We have
to
done
get
that
through
a lot.
this. Yes, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta-
Well, you guys, this has been so much fun. Yeah, and there's a lot more fun to come.
Really.
So glad y'all came.
Thank you
Yeah.
for teaming with us and joining in, collabing, and making something super special here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go get your
Get 'em. For God restores it, brings hope and grace and truth